Loadstone Sand Sealing Blade is a new jutsu slash weapon that Arya uses. So essentially, Shinki infused his chakra into Arya's blade, into his sword. And now, in mixture with that chakra and Arya's chakra, he's now able to manipulate the iron sand that Shinki uses to a certain extent, right? Like, he's not going to be like totally proficient at like manipulating the iron sand, but he can. If he charges up his chakra and mixes it with his wind style, he'll be able to like manipulate it or kind of like conjure it up or bundle it all together. It's really a cool ability, but it's got me thinking about like, if he could do it with one sword, you know what I mean? What about other swords? And then I started thinking about Boruto and Sasuke and how Boruto gained Sasuke's sword. Now, it doesn't mean that Boruto's going to be able to do like, I guess Boruto could already know how to do like lightning style jutsu, so him getting the sword from Sasuke doesn't really change anything. But what if Boruto is able to somehow get some of Shinki's chakra into his sword, right? Like, I don't know. I kind of think about like, is there a way to like get Shinki's chakra or maybe Ryu's chakra or something, so that way Boruto can have the same weapon slash ability, because Boruto can also use wind style, and in combination together it could make him also a threat to Ryu, you know what I'm saying, in addition to Arya. But as of chapter 19, Arya has lost that blade and is seemingly unable to fight Ryu at this time, and so the whole dynamic of the fight has completely changed, and it's got me questioning like, what else can Arya do, like as a support, you know what I'm saying? It feels like that sword was his big trump card, or the big one, but it doesn't mean it has to be his only one. It could also mean any number of things, really. It could mean that he could have another defensive strategy using wind style to blow away the iron sand. I think because we don't see Sarada's fireball jutsu do anything to the iron sand. Mitsuki's snakes grab Ryu, but they don't affect the sand, right? So maybe wind style could like blow it away or push it off. You know what I'm saying? So we haven't really seen him do anything outside of that blade, out of a Loadstone sand sealing blade. But I am interested to know what other tricks he might have up his sleeve, especially to fight Shinki, or to like come up with a new way to fight him. You know what I'm saying? In terms of the Loadstone sand sealing blade, where is it now? It's probably left with the other claw grimes were, right? Back at their hideout. It's safe to say that thing might never come back, unless there's a possibility where Boruto goes to steal the blade and give it back, which is unlikely to happen because he can't like teleport to where the Shinju are. So it's a little bit difficult to understand like what's gonna happen from here on out. But maybe he can get it back. Maybe there's a way, if he like goes into the claw grime to like steal it back or whatever, he could fight with it. But it's unlikely. It's very difficult to understand like how that. We know code can go in there, and we know that code can pull people out. I've just never seen anybody dive into it and be able to go somewhere else. Does that make sense? Like, obviously code can like use its claw grimes to teleport to each individual claw mark, but Arya, I just don't see it, you know what I mean, in the same way. But it is stuck to one of the claw grimes, his sword, so it's not like completely lost, unless he like unleashes it or it comes back again and he can grab it. But we'll have to see. But as of right now, I think it is very interesting to see how Shinki was able to infuse his chakra into the sword, and it gave him abilities to like manipulate the sand. So who knows what other jutsus or abilities might be passed on through the medium of like a sword or metal, kind of the same way that Boruto uses the shapes of the metal to teleport, to use flying Raijin. That's probably probably has the same principles, so to speak, you know what I mean? But as for chapter 20, what's he gonna do after his sword is taken? I don't know. It's looking a little dicey, but I'm sure he has another trick up his sleeve, or he has like another way of combating it. You know what I mean? It would be really bad if that was his only like go-to, but I'm sure he must have another strategy or another way. So that or Boruto will just come swinging in and helping them out. You know what I mean? But then, you know, then it doesn't feel like they really earned it. It just feels like, oh snap, my sword got taken and now we got saved by Boruto. Like, it's kind of a waste of the ability, you know? But I am excited to see how that sword, the blade, kind of plays into the whole story now. Because now that they've introduced it, they've shown it, I feel like taking it away is such a waste, and I feel like it has to keep on being used in new and creative ways, you know? So it's probably how they're going to release Gaara from that Iron Ball prison. That was probably the intention of it. It was probably going to like slice it, and they were going to get Gaara, and they were going to escape. You know what I mean? So I feel like that was their main goal. That was their rescue mission. That's what they were going to do. That was how he was going to destroy it or get rid of it. But now that he's lost the sword, now Gaara's stuck in there, bleeding to death, you know? So I don't know how much longer he can last. But as of right now, they have no means to fight Ryu, and that sword is completely gone. So who knows what's going to happen. But anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Yeah.